Hey guys, it's Jack.punkington here with a kind of a vlog, but kind of a discussion video because I got asked a question today by a friend of mine who he's kind of new to the guitar world, and he wants me to teach him, which I do plan on doing at some point whenever we can make time. And his question was, do expensive guitars sound better than cheaper ones? Seems like only the quality amp would matter. Well, to answer your question, and anyone else who is thinking about buying a guitar or an amp and doesn't really know much about it like this, listen up. This will definitely give you guys some help. Yes and no to both questions. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, more expensive guitars do sometimes sound better, and no, sometimes they don't. Also, yes, the amp does matter, and no, it doesn't. The reason why I say yes and no to both questions is because, well, one, the more expensive guitars will have a better sound because, well, here, example. Okay, this is a Gibson Les Paul Studio. Before Gibson kind of messed up their guitars for this year's section, if anyone else of my viewers out there who have seen the new line, I still have to try one before I make my final judgment, but it's not looking good. Anyway, this is, I believe, an 07 Les Paul Studio. It's probably tied for my favorite guitar out of this and my Fender. And this guitar is, well, I bought it used for about $560 with the case, without brand new, and when I got it there was not a scratch on it. There's scratches on it now because I play it every day, but when brand new, when these came out, the Warren series, because it's the Warren series, they were about $900, and that's without the case. They came with a gig bag, and now the studios are way more expensive, but anyway, they were about $900, $800 or $900, something like that. And this is what I consider an expensive yet affordable guitar. Now, when I said no and yes to do expensive guitars sound better, here's reasons why for yes. The quality of the wood is one of the biggest factors. You will see so many videos on YouTube of people fighting about type of wood doesn't matter, type of wood does matter, tone from different wood. Yes, tone from wood matters. I've tested it. There are plenty of videos of people who do test it. Check out Rob Chapman's video where they tested it. Rob Chapman's one of my best guitar guys that I like going to watch his videos for advice and stuff like that. So please, any guitar guy who doesn't know about him, look him up. He's an amazing guitar player, has a cool guitar company, and does a lot of helpful videos. Anyway, the other thing that matters out of a guitar is the pickups. Now, this is only for electrics, well, electric and electric acoustic, but primarily electrics. Wood does matter. So do the pickups. This is, I haven't done anything to the pickups except for take the plates off. I gave them away because I like it better without the plates on. But these are Gibson USA Alnico Pro Buckers. And the wood on the back is, it's not solid mahogany, it's chambered. Chambered mahogany with a maple top, and the top's like that thick. Like that thick. It's not even that thick. With a maple top. So yes, more expensive guitars do matter because more expensive guitars will have better wood and they will have better pickups. Now, that's not to say that some cheaper guitars will have about the same amount of, or still have good wood. The Made in Mexico Fender Strats have really good wood. There's cheap American Strats that have good wood. Heck, I've played some good Squires. And like I said, it's all about the wood and it's all about the pickup. But more importantly, for a guitar, you could have the best sounding guitar, and I've said this to so many people who ask this question, you could have the best sounding guitar in the whole world, but if it does not feel right to you, if you just start playing it and it feels like a dog, it's horrible, it won't matter. The most important thing for a guitar player is if his guitar feels good, because at that point it does not matter if it's Gibson, Squire, Fender, Dean, ESP, Jackson, Ibanez, whatever, Austin, BC Rich, it doesn't matter at that point. If the guitar feels right to you, it's your guitar. I've always been the kind of guy who thought, you don't choose your guitar chooses you. I know that's a really lame quote for me to steal from the first Transformers movie that Michael Bay did, but it's true. You know, you could sit down, I could sit down in a room that had this same exact model, this same exact guitar, and had like maybe 10 of them, and sit through playing the same riff on the same part of the guitar with the same settings on the same amp through all 10, and I guarantee you not a single one will feel the same, and one will feel better than all the rest. I haven't done that to that extent, but I have done that to, I think, like 5 different of the same guitars. Not this one, I bought this one used. But, and they just all felt good. Now, to the other part of the question, do amps matter? Yes and no. Quality amps aren't something that's... You can buy really good quality amps really cheap. Like, my Micro Terror is a really, really good quality amp, and it's really cheap. I got it for my birthday, but my grandparents paid $150 for it, brand new, and it's really good. I have my very first guitar amp I still have. I think it's like a $200 guitar amp, and it's a crate. It's just a little crate. It's like, I don't have a way to show it, but it's not super big. It's like a 1-4, whatever they're called. Yeah. Cabinet combo, or not cabinet combo, that's what I meant. And it just sounds good. I like it. My half stack is a Fender Stage 100 head, and then the cabinet is some cabinet that my grandparents found on the side of the road that's a bass cabinet, and I really like the sound it comes out. And then my other amp is a old 60s amp that I paid $20 for, or $10 for, and a used acoustic guitar. Every single guitar, or every single amp I have is probably under $1,000. Actually, I'm going to go on a far guess and say they're all under $500. All of them were pretty much gifts, except for the Kalamazoo Gibson one, which is the 60s one. But I traded a used acoustic that I found out of a trash can that I cleaned up, and $10 for it. So I got a pretty good deal. And I love the sound out of all of them, and they're all good quality in my eyes because I like the way they sound. If an amp sounds good to you and the guitar feels good, it's going to be good quality in your eyes. I know there are some people out there who love the guitar amp company Line 6, thinking they make amazing guitars because it's pre-effect settings, and you can make your guitar sound like anything you want. And there are other people out there who hate them. I have friends on both sides of the spectrum. For me, I really don't care. I've just never been a really huge fan of Line 6. But who think that they're the worst guitar amp company out there because they do that, because it gives you an imitation sound of what guitar amps, or what your guitar really sounds like. Like I said, for me, my favorite amp that I think is really out there is either the Marshall GCM 800, which is an amazing head, and I'd like to get one, or the orange, not Micro Terror, Tiny Terror or Dark Terror. I'm a big Dark Terror fan. I love that Jim Root from Slipknot, he uses one. I wouldn't mind getting that because it's such a good sounding amp. But you don't need to go out there and buy expensive guitar amps because it doesn't really matter. Like I said, it all depends on what you like and what feels good to you. Cheap guitars does not matter. I have a guitar right now, that one that I've been building. Both parts of the guitar, everything on it is a really cheap part. I'm probably, like I said, I'm only one part away from it being done, and that guitar will probably be worth under $100 from like all the parts and stuff. But under about 200 actually, because of the wood, because of the body. But it's a good feeling guitar, and when I do get it to work, I do like the sound. So there it is. I mean, like I said, it is all about that feel. I have played Squires that feel amazing. There was this guy. I used to go to his house and jam out a lot, and he had this one Dean guitar. I'm not a big Dean fan. I like them, they're cool, but I've never been a huge Dean fan. And he had this one Dean MLX, I think it's what it's called. And he said he's a nice guy. And it's the cheapest model you could get. They're like the MLX Woody, I think they're called, and he had painted it black and yellow or something like that. And like Van Halen's guitar, and he replaced one of the pickups with a Seymour Duncan full shred, I think. And the feel of that guitar would rival my Ibanez. Not my Gibson, because my Gibson and my Fender are my two best guitars. Not in terms of price, just in what I think. But my Ibanez, well, actually, I'd say it was actually near rival my Fender. Not my Gibson, though. But my Ibanez and my Fender, it was a great feeling guitar. And I've looked online how much they are, and they're $150. And I might end up buying one and then just putting in a full shred myself. I don't know. But the feel of that guitar was amazing. And it sounded good. And it was a cheap guitar. So you can get really good guitars really cheap that feel great. Like I said, it always matters on the feel. And the sound, it all depends on what you're looking for and what you want. So yes, more expensive guitars do sound better than cheaper ones, only because of the wood that is used. If a cheap guitar has good quality wood, there's a good chance it'll sound great. And yes, the amp does matter, but not to the full extent, because it all depends on the pickups and the body, and the wood of the guitar, and the amp is always subjective because of what type of sound you're looking for. I hope this video helped you guys out. Love you all. Keep on rocking. Have a nice day. See you guys later. Bye-bye.